So my company is Value Fitness, and I believe it's important to value your body. So this is my family. I'm Freddie, my husband is Jason. We dressed up last weekend. We both love Halloween. The year before we were the Berry family, and little Corbin was 3 weeks old. We made him be a strawberry. And there's Corbin at his 1 year birthday in the Hawaiian shirt, and that's my family on the left, Adam and Eduardo, and my husband Tom is on the right of me. Eduardo's looking after Corbin right now, and that's a little family photo. So my company has some values. I feel it's important to know what your values are and to live them every day. Otherwise, something doesn't feel quite right. Health, freedom, family, knowledge, and humor are my very core values. And I actually have a sheet of 150 values that I can send to you. If you're not sure what your values are, then I can send that to you so you can figure it out. And that's why I named my company Value Fitness, because I want people to live their values. I am a mat master specialist, so I'm the only one in British Columbia. There's 2 other MAT specialists in Vancouver, and one of them is Kyle. So he's a personal trainer, 12 years training. He's also a hockey player, he's a goalie, and his body was really tight, it was really uncomfortable, and he tried everything and nothing was working. He had a session with me doing MAT, and it helped him so much. He loves it, and he went out and learned it. He went to Denver to take the course. So we meet every week, and we study with each other. So what do I do as an MAT specialist? I'm trying to find compensation. So basically, tightness is secondary to weakness. If you're feeling tightness in your body, that's actually compensation happening. And it's secondary to weakness. Weakness is first, and then tightness follows. Stability versus instability. So if you're like walking along and you hit a patch of ice, everything like tightens up. Your brain senses an unstable surface and then causes everything to tighten, to compensate. Same thing happens with your body. Your brain, if it senses an unstable shoulder joint, it's going to tighten up the area and compensate for that. Muscles and resistance. So I have a little drawing here. Oh, and I need to, okay. So this is your weight. This is a 100-pound weight. You've got 10 muscles holding up this weight. They all have equal resistance holding it up. If 2 of these muscles aren't working, so they're not working, then you've got 8 muscles that now have to carry the load of 100 pounds. So they're gonna tighten up more. A lot of people address this tightness and try to get rid of it. So they're stretching. If you overstretch, you actually can shut down more muscle, and then more tension happens. So as an MAT specialist, I want to find these muscles that have shut down, restore them, and create more balanced tension around in the muscles on the body. Muscles shut down from stress, trauma, and overuse. So if you've had a really stressful week, you can actually shut down your muscle, it becomes weaker. Trauma, so car accidents, injuries, muscles definitely shut down. Overuse, if you're overtraining, if you're working a muscle way too much, it can shut down as well. So muscles activating versus not activating. So when you're working out, when you're playing squash or tennis, or if you're a pitcher, yoga, you've got muscles that are activating, of course. Standing here, I've got muscles activating. I want to find the muscles that aren't activating when you're playing your sport, especially if you're a one-handed sport like a pitcher or a tennis player, you're going to have some imbalances there. So I want to address that. How is MAT different than physio, chiro, and massage? So I've done all of these modalities. I found physio to be the best after surgery. If you have a fresh injury, you want to do physio right away, and for about 4 to 6 months, but no longer than that. You want to move on to the next thing. Chiro realigns the bones. MAT helps or works well with chiro to make sure the muscles are strong around that new alignment. And massage, I'm booking a massage tomorrow. I got my presentation, I'm moving, it's stressful. So I'm doing massage. So massage works along the muscle belly. It's very nice, it's relaxing. As MAT, I'm working just on the attachment sites of the muscle. Assessing how the body moves, finding asymmetries. So I'll assess your body. If this shoulder internally rotates to here and only to here on this side, that's an imbalance, and your body is going to tighten up and compensate for that. So I'll test all the muscles that do internal rotation to make sure they're firing, and then I'll activate them with my fingers. Foam rolling, stretching, trigger point, release. So these are ways, if you're super tight, it's a quick fix. It'll temporarily fix a problem, but your tightness will come back. Less than ideal. MAT gets to the root of why you're tight and prevents tightness in the future. So flexibility, I find MAT to be the best way to improve your flexibility for what's best for your body. So Darren's going to have a different flexibility than Sarah. Sarah's will be different than Taylor. What I love about what I do is that we're making sure your body is the same side to side. I'm not comparing you to Joe or Susan. Communication. So I'm working on, your brain only sends impulses to the strongest muscles. It's like a habit. So we're rewiring how your brain communicates to the muscles that aren't working, and it's just great for aging, because you're going to maximize your brain and body's fullest potential by creating all these neural pathways. Picture of the back. I love muscles so much. It's my passion. And so this is your back. These are some muscles. If the muscles are tight because of compensation, it's going to feel uncomfortable. And it could be just because the muscles in the hips are imbalanced. So a lot of people with tight backs benefit from muscle activation. Examples of imbalances: back pain, sciatic pain, shoulder pain, and knee pain. So the knee pain might just be weakness in your feet or your hips. They can't support the knee, so there's more grinding at that knee joint. Sciatic pain, so the sciatic nerve runs through your piriformis muscle, and if your piriformis is tight, it's going to clamp down on that sciatic nerve and have that awful feeling of sciatic pain. So by addressing the weakness and strengthening it, the piriformis can let go, sciatic pain will go away. Shoulder pain, basically the shoulder is so complex, you need all your muscles to work together in order to function at your shoulder. So I try to figure out what's not working there. You can have 5 people with the same symptoms, 5 people with the knee issues, and every single one of them will have different weaknesses. So they need a different exercise program. And what kind of referral am I looking for? I like to work with young competitive athletes. That's my favorite. I worked with football players getting ready for the NFL draft, and it was the highlight of my life. Like, I love working with the young athletes. Their bodies respond so well, and this will help them improve their athletic performance. I like working with old athletes suffering from old injuries to keep these people active. They want to stay active. Postnatal, after the pelvic floor is restored, it just really helps get the hips balanced and strong again. It really helped with me. That's what Kyle helped me with. And anybody that has poor flexibility or really tight. And that's it. I assess shoulder. Okay, this one's here, this one. So then there's a number of muscles that do internal rotation. So for example, your supraspinatus does internal rotation. It's one of your rotator cuff muscles. So basically your muscles want to shorten. Your supraspinatus in the shortened position is rotated in and abducted 30 degrees. That's what one of your rotator cuff does. So then I apply force from this side. I press in, and if it can't hold, then I stimulate with my fingers where the supraspinatus attaches, which is on the fossa of the scapula, and then the humerus. And then retest, and it's strong. So when I press on the attachments, it sends an impulse to the brain. There's been no impulse from the brain to this muscle because it's been shut down. So I can reactivate by pressing, sends a message to the brain, retest, and bam, it's just working on the communication. So I love working with massage and chiros if they're open to working with me as well. So I love talking to other healthcare professionals about what I'm seeing. So yeah, I noticed that the supraspinatus is weak. I can tell the massage, I can tell the chiro, I can tell them what I've been working on.
Get something specific to work on.
Yeah.
Not wasting time.
Yeah, and MAT works so well with massage and chiro. Like they're really, it's teamwork. I'll give them an isometric. So it's an exercise to really strengthen the weakest area in your body. And it's a very gentle exercise. I mean, it depends on the individual. But if the individual is like healthy and hydrated and eating well, I find that they have the best results. And athletes probably have the very best results, but it works well with any population. Unfortunately, MSP doesn't pay for it, and that's why massage, chiro, and physio would be better for people that have a fresh injury. I'm charging $150 for an assessment of muscle activation, and then you'll come away with an exercise that you can use to sort of keep your body strong. Reassessing, I would say, is huge to make sure that you're staying in balance, or once you get that area fixed, you might need another area that's now weak as well. Yeah, so yeah, continuing.
Okay.
Great, thank you.